first started crafting, I used to make everything out of felt. And I mean everything, right down to the kitchen sink. And this is where I developed my appreciation for sewing by hand. However, for me, sewing is pretty much a use it or lose it skill. And lately, I've been getting a little rusty on my hand stitching. So we are going to do a little project using white and yellow felt, a needle and thread, and pillow fluff. I start by tracing a circle onto the yellow felt. Neatly cut it out, repeat to make two, place it onto the white felt, and draw a wiggly circle around it. Cut it out, use it as a guide to cut another one so that I end up with 4 pieces in all. And when making my patterns, I made sure to leave about 1/4 of an inch for a seam allowance. And if this is something I know I want to make again, I keep the original pencil drawn ones as a pattern. Stack the 2 yellow pieces of felt, thread a needle with matching thread, tie a knot at the end, go through the felt. Right before I get to the knot, I go back through the felt, then push the needle right through the thread before the knot. This is what I call locking the stitch. Continue with a straight stitch going around the circle. I try to keep my stitches small, close together, and about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. When I reach my beginning stitch, tie and knot the string, trim off the excess, pull the fabric apart at the center, cut a small hole on one side, just enough so you can flip it inside out. I use a skinny stick or a popsicle stick to help round out the edges. Add a little pillow fluff, stack the 2 layers of white felt, sew a straight stitch all the way around 1/4 of an inch from the edge, just as before, pull it apart, cut a small hole, and flip it. Place the yellow circle over the hole, block the stitch underneath, and make small stitches to hold it in place. Continue all the way around, tie and knot the thread, push the needle all the way through, and trim off the excess, hiding the tail end of the thread to make an egg for an 18-inch doll. Ooh, what if we add a face to it? Before sewing anything together, I'm going to use a pencil to make some eyes and a little mouth. Take a long piece of thread and fold it in half. Push the fold through the eye of a needle to make the thread twice as thick. Then starting from the back, begin to sew on the line drawn. I'm just taking my time trying to be very neat, doing a back stitch. And that's where I go in ahead of my last stitch, then go back down through right in front of the prior stitch so that they all come out in a nice neat row. Tie it in the back, continue just as before to make an emoji egg. And if I make it bigger, use embroidery thread, sew a back stitch on the line drawn, then fill it in, making nice neat stitches, all in a row. Place the other circle on top, sew a straight line going all the way around, cut a small hole, flip it inside out, add some pillow fluff, cut a small circle of felt, place it over the opening, sew it in place, tie and knot the string, push the needle all the way through, and trim off the excess to make an embroidered emoji pillow. And the reason I sew my circles all the way around and then cut a hole in the back and flip it is because for me, it's easier to make an actual circle. If I try to do it the traditional way, usually it's gonna come out lopsided. So I find that this technique helps me to make a perfect circle, or perfect-ish. So whether you're making eggs, emoji eggs, or an emoji pillow, just have fun making something by hand. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
want to give a shout out to Barbie Kota. What's up?
Hey, Sophie. I got you a present because you look like you could use some cheering up.
Aw, thank you, Chloe. So, did you see anything interesting at the mall?
I bought this new dress.
I meant for me.
Oh, well, the makeup store had that eyeshadow you like. Sophie?
Dance, dance.